The Jets.
The Jets.
The Jets. The New York Jets.
The Jets Ward.
Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of The Jets Ward. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I've got a fun one for you. But before we get into it, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here in The Jets Ward. You always make these videos so much fun for me, and I'm glad you keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan, a fan of another NFL team, or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here in the Jets Ward. It is a safe space for you. Now, guys, the New York Jets this past weekend defeated the Atlanta Falcons 27-24 on a really, really nice late walk-off field goal by the one and only Nick Folk, 55 yards. And what this did was it put the Jets at a record of 3-9 with more games to go, but it also bumped our draft spot down from 4, where we were at, to 6. And the interesting thing about this is the biggest thing that the Jets and Jets fans, well, mainly Jets fans, have said is you need a quarterback. This offense can be very, very good if you have a quarterback to be able to get these guys the ball, like A.D. Mitchell, John Mechie, Garrett Wilson when he comes back, Mason Taylor, Breece Hall. We have weapons, and we know quarterback has been a major, major issue for the New York Jets all year long. I like Tyrod. He played well this past weekend, but he's not the future of the New York Jets. Justin Fields, that could be a disaster. And I'm somebody who likes Justin Fields a lot. But at 6, it's really, really tough to see the Jets being able to have a Fernando Mendoza or a Ty Simpson fall to them. Dante Moore is an interesting one because I think if he enters, the Jets could possibly get one of the top 3 quarterbacks, and a lot of people think Dante Moore is the best one. But as of now, from what I've heard, he's going to go back to Oregon. John Mateer, not coming out this year. I don't think he'd be a top 5 pick anyway. Then you got Drew Allar, who's probably fallen to the 5th round. He had an injury, but even before his injury, he did not look good. You got all these quarterbacks. Garrett Nussmeier I really like, but he looks like he's a 2nd-round pick. You have all these quarterbacks that it's an interesting QB year. The top ones right now are Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza. But at pick 6, the New York Jets are not going to be able to get one of them. And I am not in the camp of trading a lot of our key assets that we got in the Sauce Gardner trade and the Quinnen Williams trade to jump up and get one of these guys. I'm sorry. I don't think Mendoza or Simpson are worth it. I think we can make do with another bridge quarterback. Someone better than Tyrod or Fields, and build up all of this great draft stock that we have in the next 2 drafts. Because look at it. The Jets have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 second-round picks this year, 3 first-round picks next year, and a second-round pick next year as well. We are fully loaded to build this team and make it one that can withstand anything for years to come. I don't think a quarterback this year is worth trading up for. Now, the Jets could lose out. The Saints could win more games. The Titans could win more games. The Giants could win more. It's unlikely, but the Jets could find themselves with a top 3 pick and could end up with one of these quarterbacks because Titans aren't going to draft one. Browns, I don't believe, are drafting one. They could surprise everybody, but I don't think they're drafting anyone. You'd have to worry about the Saints. You'd have to worry about Cardinals possibly if they decided to trade up. You could worry about a lot of different teams. But I don't think that any of these quarterbacks in this draft are worthy of trading up for and giving up a ton of draft capital for. And I like Mendoza. I like Simpson. I think they're good pieces, but I don't think they're elite quarterback prospects. And in next year's class, I think there's a lot of elite QB talent. Julian Sayin from Ohio State, Carr from Notre Dame. I think Sellers, if he transfers out of South Carolina and goes somewhere else, he could be very good with another year of college under him. Dante Moore could be solid again if he stays in Oregon. There's a lot better quarterback prospects in next year's draft than this year's. And you can kill me in the comments if you want. I'm not one person who's deciding to want a QB in this draft. Honestly, I don't think they're worth it. If we find ourselves in a position, top 3 pick, and one of them is there, fine. Take them. But I'm not trading up for them. I am in the camp of not trading up and trying to build this team, keep these draft picks. But then that leads to the question, with the 2 first-round picks, who would you go with? And I think there's a great combination of players that the Jets could sneak away with in this draft and become a lot better. And with the Colts losing as well this past weekend to the Houston Texans, their draft stock has fallen down as well, which helps the Jets out because now they're at pick 22, which before they were at pick 28, which is still good. You have another first round pick, but that's at the end of the first round. Moving down to 22, there's still some really good talent there. And I have some combinations that I think I would be very, very happy with the Jets to go with when that time comes. So let's get into it, shall we? The first combination is a player that has grown very big onto me, and that's Carnell Tate. He looks like an elite wide receiver. Now, everybody says Tyson is the number 1 receiver in this class. Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receivers are always great. And Carnell Tate looks like a great route runner, doesn't have that breakaway speed, but still has great speed, and is great on the intermediate routes. He has solid hands. He doesn't drop anything. He can block, and he is somebody who's very, very tough and will catch anything and can break tackles as well. He's 6'3", 195 pounds, and looks amazing at Ohio State, has been a monster all this year. If the Jets were to pick him at pick 6 and to give us a receiving core of Garrett Wilson, Carnell Tate, A.D. Mitchell, and John Mechie as your number 4, and then Arian Smith as a number 5, with Mason Taylor and Breece Hall still? Come on. You can't tell me those weapons aren't some of the best in the NFL at that point. That is some really, really good talent over there, especially with an offensive line that is so complete at this point. Got to re-sign John Simpson, maybe bring in a better center, retain Josh Myers, but probably bring in a better center as well, starting caliber, and keep Tippmann at right guard. We have our tackles set for a long, long time at this point. Bring in another threat at a weapon of need at this point, probably not the biggest need we have, but somebody of Carnell Tate's talent would be something that boosts this offense so much more. And then getting into pick 22, another player that I really, really love, and that is his teammate, Sonny Styles, at the middle linebacker position. Kid is 6'4", 243 pounds, converted safety, just like Jamien Sherwood was. Linebacker is going to be a major need for us. We have Francisco Mauigoa, who's taken a step forward, which I really, really like. You have Kobe King there on special teams, which I loved Kobe King from Penn State. You have all these players. Jamien Sherwood has not played up to the contract that we have given him, and there's been conversations of him possibly getting dealt this offseason. Quincy Williams has been playing much better since being benched, and somebody I would love for the Jets to bring back. But if they don't, Sonny Styles is a very, very solid, instinctive linebacker that I think could fit this AG style of defense. And it's be somebody who can cover tight ends, who can do really good in the run fits and stop the run, and just be a sideline-to-sideline type of linebacker. So if we were to come away in the first round with Carnell Tate and Sonny Styles, I think that is an A-plus first round for the New York Jets. But continuing on, because I still have a ton of combos that I think could definitely work. So going into the next one, I got Caleb Downs, his teammate right here, Caleb Downs, and Denzel Boston. Caleb Downs is the best safety in this draft. He is a ball hawk. He is a physical downhill safety who can hit you like a brick, but can also cover very, very well. And somebody who's looked as being the best defensive player in this draft. And it's interesting because all those Ohio State players, from offense to defense, there's probably going to be 5 or 6 of them that go in the first round. You have Arvell Reese, you have Caleb Downs, you have Carnell Tate, you have Sonny Styles. There's all these solid players in this draft. That just shows how talented Ohio State is at this point in college football. And they're always so good. But these kids are elite at this point. But Caleb Downs, best safety in football. And imagine putting him back there in that secondary with A.Z. Thomas, who looks like he's taking major steps forward, with Brandon Stevens, who looks like he could be a solid number 2 cornerback in this league. Malachi Moore, who's taking major steps forward as well. And then add Caleb Downs to that, you could have a very, very solid secondary for years to come. And the safety position has been neglected by the New York Jets for many years under the Saleh regime. Maybe AG can start building that position back up for this team. Started it with Malachi Moore and A.Z. Thomas at cornerback. Let's see if they can build it and bring in a player like Caleb Downs as well. So you stick with Caleb Downs' defense at pick 6, going safety. Later in the round, you can get your receiver. Denzel Boston sitting right there at pick 22, wide receiver from Washington, who's 6'4", 209 pounds. Not the quickest guy, runs solid routes, but he has great hands. He doesn't drop passes. He is a monster, a red zone threat. He's not going to beat you with his speed, but at the point of attack, he's going up, and you can bet he's bringing that ball down. He's a safety net for any type of receiver or any type of quarterback, and a guy who you could trust to be your solid number 2 receiver. Even could burst into like a Drake London type of player who could be that next elite big receiver. Denzel Boston is somebody I really, really like. I think I had him in a mock draft of mine later. I had picked 28 previously. And I think he's a player that the Jets fans would love, being that automatic X type of receiver, which could open up some things for A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie in the slot as well. But again, we got Carnell Tate and Sonny Styles with the first one. If we don't want them, you can go Caleb Downs at safety, which is a big need for the New York Jets this offseason, and Denzel Boston, getting your wide receiver still. But let's see another possibility that the Jets could go with. Maybe somehow the best player, in my opinion, falls in this draft. Arvell Reese. Linebacker / edge rusher, guy coming off the edge, is just a monster. If you watch this previous college game this past weekend, he was everywhere and caused Michigan so many headaches. Dominated the field, was unblockable at times. Guy's a monster. Can blitz, can play the edge, put his hand in the dirt and be a monster that way. He's not bad at coverage either. Great in run stuffing ability. And just a guy who's a monster and will terrorize you. He's 6'4", 243 pounds. I see him as being the best player in the draft. Could he fall? If he's looked at as a linebacker, which I don't see as a big priority for a lot of teams, then I think he could slip. Teams are going to need receivers. Giants, I could definitely see going receiver. Ruben Bain, many people think he's the best defensive player in the draft, edge rusher. He could go number 1 to the Titans if they remain at the number 1. Carnell Tate could go to the Browns if he's there. There are many ways that Arvell Reese could fall to pick 6. Weird things happen in these drafts. So Harvell Reese could absolutely fall to the New York Jets at pick 6. And you get a player of that caliber on this Jets defense, that could be terrorizing for so many quarterbacks in the NFL. And let's say you're not happy with some of the receivers left on the board. A lot of good systems have 2 solid tight ends, 2 great tight ends in their system. A blocking one and more of a receiver. Well, at pick 22, why not go with a guy who can do both, block and be a monster matchup in Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon? He's 6'3", 245 pounds. Dante Moore, if he's in trouble, he looks for Sadiq. Sadiq is just a guy who will run your ass over and then catch the ball and be able to outrun you as well to the end zone. He is great. He is everything, in my opinion, that reminds me a lot of Kyle Pitts, but will not be a bust in, let's say. Because a lot of people are disappointed in how Kyle Pitts has been since his rookie season. I think Kenyon Sadiq can be light years ahead of that and be the type of tight end that a lot of teams would love to have, being a monster blocker and a guy you could line up as a big slot and just send down on the seam routes. And imagine having a Mason Taylor and a Kenyon Sadiq along with Garrett Wilson, A.D. Mitchell, and John Mechie and Breece Hall. That could be great, especially with how the Jets like to run the ball. Having 2 solid blocking tight ends just to add some solid run stuffing ability to that team could open so many holes for Breece Hall as well. So Harvell Reese and Kenyon Sadiq, if the Jets walked away with that, I would be amazed and ecstatic about this. And I love what Darren Muji has done already with free agencies and the draft. I would just crown him as the best GM for the Jets right then and there if he was able to pull off any of these picks. But continuing on, because I've been doing a mismatch of receivers or offense and defense. What happens if the Jets wanted to just focus on one side of the ball? Let's continue. So let's say you wanted to focus just on the offense. You think the Jets need offensive help. They miss out on the quarterbacks, but there are still great receivers and other weapons there. Well, let's go with another receiver who's not getting a lot of things talked about. And that's Mekhi Lemon from USC, one of the best route runners in this receiving class. Solid hands, a guy who can line up in the slot and beat you with his speed, beat you with his crisp route running. Not the best blocker, but a guy who just slippery, can break tackles and just the ends has a knack to get into the end zone. It is crazy with how well this kid is. And he's only 5'11", 195 pounds. Great receiver. I would rank him as my number 3 receiver in this draft behind Carnell Tate, who I'd have number 1, and Tyson from, I forget which, Arizona State, where he plays. But Mekhi Lemon is right up there. I really, really like him. Chris Bell would be my 4th receiver. But I'd be happy if the Jets were able to pull him away at pick 6. And then, again, double dip that offense. Kenyon Sadiq. I think that would be an offensive explosion. And when you get your quarterback next year, let's say, like a Julian Sayin, who I think is going to be the best quarterback in that draft class, who I would love to get, imagine him coming into a situation with all of these weapons for him and a solid offensive line. That could be one of the best situations a rookie quarterback could walk into. So Mekhi Lemon and Kenyon Sadiq. Now, let's say our GM knows this defensive class is going to be one of the stronger ones. Focus on offense in the next draft. Focus on the defense in this draft. One of the best combinations I think the Jets could pull off, and it would be awesome in my opinion, Harvell Reese and Sonny Styles. Imagine getting these 2 teammates at the linebacker position, Harvell Reese coming down on the edge, Sonny Styles being on the perimeter or being up the middle, along with Quincy Williams or Jamien Sherwood even, and Francisco Mauigoa. Imagine having these 2 monsters with Jermaine Johnson coming off the edge as well and Will McDonald. Or you move Jermaine Johnson inside and have all 3 of them rushing the passer. And then Harvell or Sonny Styles out there to get a nice, easy interception. A guy who could command this defense. I did this one in a mock draft as well, and I did it as a worst case scenario. Honestly, this could be a best case scenario if the Jets pulled away with the best defensive player in this draft and one of the best linebackers in this draft as well. Best pure linebacker, in my opinion. And let's say you don't want Arvell Reese. Let's say he's gone. Switch in Caleb Downs. Safety, which is a big need, and then Sonny Styles as well. You could do that. Bringing in these types of players, leaders, monsters, guys who are NFL caliber players who could start day one and be monsters on this defense. I wouldn't be upset. I would not be upset because there are other receivers you can get in the second round. Chris Brazell from Tennessee, who his father played for the Jets. Guy's a big ex-receiver as well. Not that he's a solid blocker when he wants to be. Doesn't have the best speed, but he will go up and catch the ball for you as well. There's weapons you can get later in this draft as well. But this defensive class is one of the strongest and one of the best defensive classes that I can remember in a while when it came to the draft. And imagine getting Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. That could be amazing for this Jets long-term defense and help them get more turnovers as well, which has been an issue for this Jets defense. But again, guys, these are my ideas. I would love to hear what you guys think. What would be your dream draft combinations if the Jets were to miss out on the quarterback? Or are you somebody that believes the Jets need to trade up for the quarterback if they were still at pick 6 and you didn't think they were going to be able to get one of the quarterbacks? Let me know what your opinions are. Make sure, again, you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others as well. Make sure a lot of people, if you want other people to enjoy this content as well, share it with them. I'd love to see more people in here. And hit that bell for any notifications of when I post videos as well. I really appreciate it. And follow me on X, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I'm on all of those. I post my videos on there as well and shorts. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. And again, thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.